A month or so ago, on an unusually nice afternoon, I was invited to take a trip up to Longchi, a village located just north of Dujiangyan, which is itself northwest of Chengdu. A friend of a friend invited us to see his tea factory and have a taste of his tea, as well as see of some of the local sites, which he said would be experiences we wouldn't forget. But little did we know how right he would prove to be. Driving up and out of Chengdu was normal enough until we started getting out toward Dujiangyan and north up into the mountains. Watching the scenery go by, I get all the usual thoughts of you need to get out of the city more often, the real beauty of China is in the countryside, and all that kind of stuff. It was then we came upon the Min River and a colossal structure that we eventually found out was the Tsipingpu Reservoir. As we kind of meandered along the reservoir, we were silenced by the enormity of this place, just how small we were compared to it. It was then that I learned something quite troubling after a quick Google search. It was this place, the sheer size of it, and the weight of the water of this man-made reservoir that many experts concluded either significantly contributed to or caused the 2008 Wenchuan Earthquake. The Wenchuan Earthquake, the 21st deadliest of all time, over 87,000 casualties, 400,000 injured, 4.8 million people made homeless, the one that every Sichuan local remembers, wish they didn't, the one that united the nation, changed Sichuan forever, the one that my wife tells me about. Yeah, that's the one. That might have been caused by the very thing we were standing by, driving along, taking pictures at. As we drove up to the village, we were greeted with the all too familiar signs of China's ghost towns. Uniform apartments, dusty, moldy, decaying, clearly vacant, and some not even finished yet. We took a walk around a few of them, noting the eeriness of some of the more well-kept communities, even though there were no residents to keep them up. It's like the only place in China with no people. Oh my God, there's nobody up here. That's weird. Kevin and I began to wonder why this was, but we were interrupted by our tour of the tea factory and tea tasting, which, while interesting enough and quite pleasant, didn't quite overtake the queries as to why this place was so empty. It was on our tour of the area afterwards that we began to understand the reason for everything. It was the earthquake, the Wenchuan Earthquake. The area never recovered after that quake, the government forbidding new residents from moving in due to fears of another quake. As we drove through the area, every single place shared the same story. This area was a vibrant area full of happy people before the earthquake, but after the earthquake, it was abandoned and left to decay. Its residents either among the casualties, those who left, or those few people still here clinging to hope of people returning to the area. Every place was exactly the same. This hotel was here, this villa was here, this restaurant's still here, it's abandoned, this square was here, this road, all of them reduced to memories or a shell of what they once were. And 10 years later, things still haven't recovered. And everything that we saw was a sobering reminder of that fact. Places don't simply get over disasters like that, and some people's lives changed forever. That was one of the biggest takeaways. I mean, of course, I knew that, but seeing such a salient, close-up reminder of that fact really left a deep impression on me. Although it wasn't a really nice thing to see, a nice lesson to learn or to be reminded of, I'm glad I was there. It left me feeling just the slightest bit closer to the people who do remember it, including my wife, even though I don't really have a window into their experience. At least I was there and I could say I saw the slightest bit of that with my own eyes. And I understood that I can't understand. I can't really get into that experience. I understand that I'll never understand. I get that I don't get it. And the thing is, I don't really know what to do with this information if I'm totally honest. I'm just going to put it out there and see what happens. And I think honestly, I'm just going to leave it there. So thank you all for watching. See you all next time.
Look at those beautiful stars. I wanna drive a faster car. Nothing can break me, no